What's up guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel where today we are going to be talking about Amazon's New World and my first impressions of the first couple of weeks of the game since it's gone live. So back when we started this YouTube channel, one of the first videos that I actually put out was my first impressions of Amazon's New World as a game that was up and coming and at the time was just about to go into the closed beta phases. Now, back a year ago, I was majorly hyped about the release of this game because I was at the point in sort of my gaming career where I was getting very bored of the time that I was spending on World of Warcraft, and I didn't really have an MMO that I could sink my teeth into. And that's what led me into looking at games such as Ashes of Creation and also New World, because New World was closer on the horizon to being launched, and Ashes obviously is still in development, and I am still interested to see what Ashes has to bring to the table when it comes out. But for now, obviously we've got New World, it's now live, and I've been playing it for a little while now. So the time that I've actually put into the game so far is about 130 hours since launch, and previously to that, during the closed and open beta, I did probably another 50 hours. So I had a good amount of time to really get my teeth into the game and get used to the play style, and see if it's got the things that I look for when I start to play a new MMO game. So off the bat, New World is not what you would call a typical MMO because it's not very story driven. You're not going to have your hand held through the game as you start to level and develop your character in the game. That being said, there's still plenty to do, and it's very easy to kind of get to the grips with the basics of the game and start to enjoy the game as you develop your characters further. I think the dungeon system is very good in the game, and that's something that's really important to me. That also being said though, it can be a bit of a cluster if you have too many melee characters. Much like other MMOs, it does tend to favour ranged DPS characters in these kind of scenarios, but that may change in the later game. At the moment, I've only played through the first 2 dungeons in the game, and both of them have been pretty hectic when you've got lots of people in the melee. That being said as well though, it is also easier on the healer if everybody's stacked up. In terms of PvP in the game, PvP is not really something that ever really interests me. However, I do really want to get involved in some more PvP in New World, but I haven't got the progression on my account yet to really get involved in that. I feel like that's something that I'll do when I have spare time when I'm at max level, rather than something that I'll do during the leveling process itself. So in terms of longevity for the game, I think it's got a lot of potential. It's obviously still got a lot of work to do, and I think, you know, as the game starts to mature, it will become a lot more complete, because at the moment it's slightly lacking in certain areas, but we have already seen data mined information that the world is much bigger than what we actually currently have access to, so I'm hoping that means that there's plenty of content coming down the road. Something that I would really like to see them implement into New World is a raiding scenario, be that a 10-man PvE raiding experience or something like that. Something that is going to take time to progress through, not a dungeon which, you know, you're just farming through and there's no real progression. But again, I don't know whether that's in the plan, and I don't know if it's something that they will add, but I do think that that would give the more PvE-focused players something to focus on, which could be really fun. Outside of that, though, I honestly think that New World is one of the best MMOs that I've played in recent years in terms of at its launch state. As I said, it's definitely not perfect, it's definitely not for everyone, and it is very grindy, so if you're not into the just kind of mindless grinding at times, then I think that New World probably will be a game that you want to give a miss to. But if you do want a game that you can enjoy with your friends in a world where it is constantly evolving, you've got things to do and plenty of missions and quests and things like that to keep you occupied, then certainly give New World a try. We're actually going to continue creating content for New World for quite a while, as far as I can see, because there's so much in the game that you can really get involved in. You know, we haven't even touched on things like the crafting systems, the housing systems, and the PvP, so there's plenty more to come from this channel. If you do enjoy the content that we're putting out, please do subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you in another video very, very soon.